All right, Let Them Know with Joe, episode number 7, I think. We got Kiara here. Hey, Kiara.
Hey.
Oh, wait, let me, Oh, wrong one. It's, oh. Wait. That's that one either. There it is. We're applauding for Kiara. Welcome.
I feel so welcomed.
I do apologize. I labeled these, but I labeled them wrong. And so, welcome, Kiara, to the show.
Thank you.
Good to have you here. You drove all the way down from San Francisco, California, to come and hang out with me and chat about some stuff, whatever we're going to talk about. But before we do, let's have some coffee.
Let's do it.
Can you actually grab that bag?
Yep.
While I pour these, if you can get up. I forgot to have the bag closed so I can be able to read what kind of coffee we're having. I don't know about you. But I love the sound of coffee being poured.
That should be one of your sound effects.
No, I'm good. So we got Stumptown. We usually is it Stumptown or Stumpton? Stumptown, right?
Yeah. There's a W.
So we got Stumptown. Thanks. We've had a few Stumptowns in the prior shows. This is a new one. It's 100 Mile blend with a nice jam and toffee. You can have a drink if you want to. Or is it too hot? Oh. Stumptown, if you want to, you can sponsor. We can sponsor you if you want. Just let us know. Is it we would sponsor them or they would sponsor us?
They would sponsor you.
That's what I thought. I was talking to one of my roommates today. I'm like, because someone else is about to is sponsoring this show actually, and it's jimmyhyde.com. And I'll put actually a soundbite right there.
Did you know that there are over 171,000 words in the Oxford English Dictionary? Master copywriter Jimmy Hyde doesn't know anywhere near that many words. But the words he does know help businesses turn their technical sounding, boring copy into easy-to-read copy that makes them money. If you need a master copywriter, go to www.jimmyhyde.com and drop him a line. Or email him at me@jimmyhyde.com. Jimmy Hyde. He knows words, the best words.
But he just started a copywriting business. And he's one of my good friends from Australia, and he's great with words. So if you're looking for somebody to copyright some stuff, hit up jimmyhyde.com.
Very cool.
How's the coffee?
Delicious. Highly recommend.
I like it a lot too. We did a French press today, and it's very good. I love it so much. Thank you. Cool. Kiara, I know you hate this question, but actually, I'm not going to ask it yet.
Okay.
So what do you do what's your career path looking like right now? Or like, what are you doing for your career, I guess?
Yeah. So I work in Biotech.
Wow.
So I'm a scientific researcher at Genentech in South San Francisco. So my work is technically confidential, but I do science.
Can you tell us anything that you worked on before in the past that's maybe out now that you've done at all, or no?
Technically, no.
Technically,
none of
no.
it's published, so
Right.
I can't.
Okay. I know that, I don't know, hopefully I can say this, but the flu,
Yes.
there was something y'all did for the flu, right? What is that?
So we have a new flu drug
Right.
called Zofluza, and it treats the flu in one dose. I had nothing to do with this project, but it's pretty rad.
It's from your job, so you definitely have something to
true.
do with it. You're part of it. I know
guess.
working with Wix, if we come up with anything cool, I'm part of it.
Yeah, that's true.
So you're part of it too. So thank you for helping us with the flu. Now help us with COVID-19.
We are doing things.
I love that. You can't tell us about it though,
I
can you?
can't, but we're excited. Things are happening. We did just drop the antibody test.
I just saw that there's this steroid that they said that's people use the steroid that actually is curing or like working really good with COVID. Have you heard of that?
A steroid?
Yeah, there's a steroid that is like an everyday steroid that people actually use that they just found that but maybe it's not real.
I haven't read anything about a steroid treating
I think
COVID,
I saw it on Facebook, so it must be true.
Facebook is
No,
trustworthy.
I'm actually not sure where I saw it from, but I saw it somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Send me that article.
I'll send it to you when I find it.
Cool.
Okay, so you work in biotechnology,
Mm-hmm.
science. That's fire. What about, is this what you want to be doing or
Yeah.
the rest of your life?
I'm actually getting ready to go to grad school at the University of Arizona to pursue my PhD in biomedical sciences.
What does PhD stand for?
Doctor of Philosophy, I
Nice.
believe.
Why is it backwards though?
I don't know.
Who knows? Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So, second episode we had with Love Know with Joe, we had your fiance
Whoa, yeah.
on, and Tommy Bachtle. So y'all are getting married.
Mm-hmm.
When?
July 31st.
July 31st. Everybody's invited. It's in St. Thomas.
You giving all the details?
That's all I'm saying. I'm going. I'm excited for that. But
Mhm.
you are taking my friend away from me.
Oh my goodness.
So I am still kind of bitter about that.
People have asked me, what is Joe going to do when...
Yeah, I don't know. We're going to figure it out. We're going to go. We're going to see what happens. And,
I hope people submit their applications to be your new Tommy.
I don't know. I don't know if anybody can really be... Because, you know what's crazy? Me and Tommy, we first met when I picked him up from the airport.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, we just really hit it off because we have, like, the same kind of humor. We understand each other's humor. Like, we're good with, like... But the one thing I really enjoy about Tommy as a friend is that when we go hang out, we don't even have to talk.
Mm-hmm.
And we just kind of, like, sit down and watch something and be on our phones. And we're cool with that. And I love that.
I love that about him, too.
Because, like, people sometimes just want to talk all the time. And I'm cool. Don't get me wrong, I love to talk. I have a show all about talking. But I talk all day at work, and then I talk other stuff. But sometimes when I just want to chill,
Mm-hmm.
I just want to not talk.
Yeah, same.
And it's great. I
agree.
love that. He will be missed. You will be missed, too.
Yeah,
We first met at a dinner party for church.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I met you, Blake, and
Crickets.
what is her name? She used to be in our Connect.
Megan?
Yes. And Megan. And I met you all that same day.
Oh
It was
my
great.
goodness.
Great day. Great people. But okay, so where are you actually from? I know you don't like answering this question. I know you moved around a lot because you are a military family.
Mm-hmm.
So I won't ask you that question then. What I want to ask is, what are your top 3 places that you've
Okay,
loved to live
listen.
at?
Whenever I would meet someone new in college, they'd be like, "Where are you from?" And I'd be like, "Well, military. It's a long story." And then they'd be like, "Well, where'd you live the longest?" And I'm like, "Oh, I kind of lived everywhere the same amount of time." And then they're like, "Well, what's your favorite?" And I'm like, "Well, I like Alaska, but I also like Guam." But they're like complete opposites. So
I didn't know you lived in Alaska.
yeah, I have Alaskan license plates.
Do you really?
Yeah.
And you drove that all the way from Alaska to
No.
here? Obviously, you're the best place you'd like to live was here in the Bay, because this is where you met your husband or your future husband. This is where
I met Jesus.
you met Jesus. This is also where you've found your career and you've been
True.
growing in it, and then you're going to grow
Mhm.
even more somewhere else. But I thought this has been the game changer for you.
It's been the most pivotal assignment is what I'll say.
Pivotal assignment. That's great.
Yep.
Okay, so what were we talking about?
Oh my God. Where am I from? What are my favorites?
Yeah.
Do you want to know what my favorites are?
No, I don't.
Okay. Great.
So, how? I won't spend too much time more on this, but I know for me, like, going to school with the same people
Mm-hmm.
was cool and I loved it. But it was also cool when I met new people because, like, so where I'm from in Texas, we have 4 elementary schools in a small town. And then from there to 4th grade. And then from there, we have 5th grade, a school by itself. And all the 5th graders from those schools go to that school. And then 6th grade as well by itself, 7th grade by itself, 8th grade by itself, and then high school 9 through 12 all together.
Right.
But when I went to the next year, you would have different people that you never even seen before. So I actually liked it a lot because I got to meet new people and get new friends. Was it kind of the same thing as you, or was it even like kind of worse because, or did you not like that too much because you weren't able to like establish really good friends?
It was difficult before social media. And I mean, it was all I knew. So I think moving every 3 years and like starting at a new school, like it was cool for those 3 years to like move with friends.
Right.
But goodbyes were never really hard because it was like, oh, this is just life. So here I go. And then starting somewhere new, I'm usually starting at an Air Force or a military school where other kids have moved around too. So it's like,
Right.
oh, they know.
They kind of grow numb to it.
Yeah.
Did you play sports?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you play?
I
What'd
played
you do?
basketball.
Shoo!
I was a baller.
You were, or you're not
Mhm.
anymore?
No. No, I'm a spectator.
I love that.
But
Who's
I
your
love the
team?
game. Ooh,
NBA.
no. That's all
Oh,
fixed.
you love college. Oh,
love
are you one of
college
those people that
sports.
thinks it's all fixed?
It is fixed.
How?
Because it just is. If you look into it, I don't want to get into it, but
We can
like
get
I've
into
got
it.
theories.
Tell me a theory. I want to hear this theory.
It's all about the money. No.
Well, yeah, a lot of it is about the money for sure, but
It's just not.
do you think that people they throw the games?
Sometimes.
Do you think they throw the games in like the playoffs?
I think the playoffs more than regular season, yes. And probably some regular season, depending on how seeding.
What are your
goes.
thoughts? Because I know you love college.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the basketball players getting paid? What's your thought? Because I know it's probably you've thought about this a lot. So what are your thoughts on that?
I'm torn, and this is a very controversial topic.
You want to talk about it?
No, we can. I mean, I'll say my piece. I don't think they should be paid. However, I do feel like, or maybe just give them like a stipend. So like, for instance, I'm going to grad school. They're paying me a stipend because I'm like doing research for their school.
Right.
And so if you look at athletes, they deserve a small, like my stipend's really, really small, but it's something.
How much you
And
getting?
I'm not going to tell you, but I mean, it's public information. But yeah, I think athletes should actually get a small stipend because something that I remember hearing when I was in college is like our athletes were going hungry. And so, I mean, not most, but some athletes like come from nothing.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like they get the free tuition, but then they don't have any like spending money per se. So
I think my opinion is I think it's sort of in that realm, but then you start thinking about, or what about those that are just terrible players, or not the best? So like, I think if you're good,
no,
you should get no. Let me finish.
Oh,
I think if you're good, not payment, you should be able to get sponsored by somebody. I think you should. That's my thoughts. And to be honest, I can talk more about this because they're making so much money off of these kids.
Yes.
So much money. And yes, they're going to study and they're doing this. I get that too. But the amount of money that these coaches are getting, and then these kids don't see any of that. They're paying tens of thousands of dollars and some of them might not even go into the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks.
True.
I don't know.
It's
I
my
think they should get. I
stipend.
think they should get paid.
Sponsorships just, I feel like it gets a bit complicated when you throw in sponsorships.
Yeah, fair.
But I don't know.
I mean, in that case, maybe just don't even go to college. Just go play in
Overseas.
overseas. Yeah, that's what's his name did. The big baller brand, his
Yeah.
son.
Something.
Something. Yeah. 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 That's a whole nother conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And you also love college football.
I do.
Wait, who's your college basketball team?
The Tar Heels, go Heels. And
Is that where you studied?
No.
Where'd you study at?
Oh man, I studied down the road at North Carolina State. So go Wolfpack during football season, but go Heels during.
So why
basketball
Tar Heels?
season. I grew up. My dad is from North Carolina, and he grew up a Tar Heel fan, kind of just by default. That's who I rep.
So you don't ever watch NBA at all?
I used to a lot more, but
Did you watch the documentary of Michael Jordan?
no, I haven't watched it.
You
Yeah,
should watch it.
I will.
You need to watch
I just
it.
haven't watched it
It's
yet.
so good. I loved it. People will say like it makes them see, or make Michael Jordan seem like he wasn't a good guy, but also doesn't show as bad as he was either.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. He got these championships,
Mm-hmm.
and if that's what it takes to get championships, then so be it. To be honest,
By all means.
because like who else has done this? I mean, no one else except for what's his name? Oh, Wilt.
True.
But other than that, like no one else has done 2 3-peats.
That's right.
And it's like, cool. You want to know what it takes? Be like Michael Jordan. Push your team.
Yeah. But he's such a different player from anyone else that's like
Yeah, true.
playing. So it's hard to even compare him with
I'm not comparing though. I'm just saying his
like work ethic.
the way he pushed his teammates was kind of like he would dog them a lot. So-
Okay.
In that documentary, talk about that, or he was like mean to them. But it's like, be good, so you can win. I don't know.
That's fair. I mean,
I get
hold
it.
him to a high
Yeah.
standard.
I don't see them complaining when they get a ring.
That's
You know what I mean?
That's true.
Anyways, what did I ask that question for?
I don't know. Sports are great.
I love
so
sports. Do you watch
bring
baseball?
back- I love to go in person because I love the snacks.
Go Astros.
Mm.
If those that are not seeing, I'm wearing a Houston Astros shirt. I know they got caught for cheating, but I don't care. They're still a great team.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. I had a question I wanted to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
Me and you were chatting yesterday a bit, and you proposed this question, and I've actually had this conversation with people before about the same question, but it's the big question. Can guys be best friends with girls? I want to hear your opinion on this. Go.
I need to know if this guy, if we're talking about guys being best friends with girls, does the guy have a girlfriend, significant other?
Okay, so let's put some scenarios.
Yeah.
If a guy has a girlfriend, can he be best friends with a girl?
If a guy has a girlfriend. I mean,
Let me guess. Now you're gonna say, "Well, how serious is our relationship?"
no, I would say, like, what is a best friend? You know, like, and I'm not asking you, that's more rhetorical. Like, everyone has a different definition for what a best friend is. I think if the guy or the girl, whoever, whatever, if both parties have a certain conviction as well as physical and emotional boundaries in place, I wouldn't say, yeah, you can be best friends, but you can maintain a certain friendship. But I think there comes a problem when you sort of put the best friend on the same pedestal or the same level as your significant other. Like, one should definitely have more priority than the other.
I agree with that. If a guy is dating a girl
Mm-hmm.
and he's friends with the girl, I believe that the girl he's dating should be his best friend,
Yes,
higher than the other girl.
for sure.
That's my thought too. I agree with that.
And yeah, like I said, just have those emotional and physical boundaries in place with your friendships as you would with any other female friendship if you're a guy.
What if the guy's single? This is a good question. Can they just be friends?
Yes.
Or does one person like one more than the other?
Oh my gosh. Is this high school?
Oh yeah. This is a good question. I love this question.
It comes down to boundaries and intention.
I don't want to hear that.
Like if you're texting 24/7, there's probably feelings in there. I think it's important for men to have men friendships and not just like be so heavily dependent on a female friendship.
That's fair.
So
I think whenever a guy and a girl are friends, there's always someone that likes one more than the other.
sometimes,
I think there is.
That's assuming, never mind. Yeah.
But
sure.
that's if they're single.
Sure.
I'm not saying if they're dating.
Friendship is a great foundation to dating.
That's true.
So, sure, if they're
That's
single,
very true.
hey, try it out, whatever.
But then you get put in the friend zone.
Do it well.
I've been in that friend zone too many times.
Have you served
Maybe I'm
those
just too
seasons well,
nice.
or are you trying to climb out prematurely?
What do you mean? Explain that to me.
Well, whatever, it's like singleness, you got to serve whatever season you're in well, and then you'll be ready for the next thing. But you can't be trying to, get out of that place too soon. What if you're not ready?
I think, will we ever be ready?
To some degree, yes.
I don't know.
Okay.
How'd you know you were ready to date Tommy?
Oh, jeez.
Were you ready to date him? You weren't.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, I wasn't ready, but that's because I had just become a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
I had just gotten out of a terrible relationship.
Yep.
And I had just gone through the most intense and hectic situation of my life. So I was just coming from a very broken place, and I was like, I don't want to get all of these broken pieces all over him. So I was like, God, I don't think this is it. But I felt like God was like, yeah, this is it. See what happens. So here we are.
It's fair.
Yeah.
So you're saying that there's a chance that even if you're not ready, you can still date?
Absolutely.
Okay.
If God's at the center. And if you're leaning more on God than the
What
relationship.
if people are listening that are not Christians? Because we have some people that listen that are not Christians. They don't even believe in God.
That's fine. Believe in what you want or don't believe. I didn't do life with God before, and I was seeing I was stuck in a cycle. And so I say, God is very important because I've seen what life without God is like.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying life without God is, awful, but
Right.
it's just, it eases these, tougher situations and times. I will say counseling was also, it's like God plus professional counseling is really, really great.
I agree. I think
whether you believe or not, I think Christian counseling, because it just brings more into your spirit. I don't know. Because I did regular counseling before, and I just felt like they were looking for something wrong, and they couldn't put their finger on it with me.
Yeah, right.
But every situation's different. It's...
Yeah, I think dating is such a big topic, I think,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times, because, growing up the way I grew up, whenever I was in school, we didn't have social media, so we'd have to call the girl's house, and then their parents would answer, and they're like, hey, is so-and-so home? and then you're just scared because if it's their dad, they're like, who's this? I'm like, oh, this is Joseph. And they're like, Joseph who? I'm like, dang, Martinez. And they're trying to why do you want to talk to my daughter for? I'm like, and it's just so weird. But
Yeah.
it kind of kept you accountable too.
It's true.
But with social media, things have changed. And so for me, growing up in these different times, it's been crazy to kind of experience that. So you have calling somebody's house to talk to them, and maybe writing letters, to now where you have Snapchat, dating apps, and all this other stuff.
DMs.
Slide into them DMs, and you're just like, what's up,
That's true.
And I think it's a confusing time to date. I think being single at my age.
Okay.
I'm 30 years
I was
old.
gonna say, what is your age? Mm-hmm.
I just turned a big 30, and I was talking about dating in all my freaking shows. I guess because I'm in the middle of it.
You're
so
just a hopeless romantic.
I'm not hopeless romantic.
Mm-hmm.
I do like rom-coms though. Those are
And
fire.
love songs.
That's true. That's very true. I do love Casey and JoJo.
Okay.
But back to what I was saying. So I think dating is a huge thing, and I think a lot of people are in that season of dating right now where they're like meeting someone on a dating app,
Right.
or even like when you meet someone at a bar.
Yeah.
It's crazy because I think about it sometimes. I think about the whole dating or meeting someone at the bar. I would say probably like, maybe correct me if you think I'm wrong. I'm just pulling some percentages out of the air, anyways. But I would say 80% of the time when people are trying to find someone at the bar, is to hook up that night, maybe even more.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's just too hard to try to find someone at a bar. I don't know.
My parents used to say, like, go somewhere like the gym or church. Like, go somewhere where you know right off the bat you have something in common, to like find that person, because it's not like, oh, you start dating, they're done going to the bar.
Right.
And so it's like,
Which the bar is not wrong unless it's become like
the bar is not wrong.
Unless it's become like a big old thing where you can't live without it.
Yeah.
Anything like
true.
that is bad. If you can't live without coffee,
That is bad.
you need to check yourself.
Mm-hmm. Before you wreck yourself.
Before you wreck yourself, yes.
Yeah.
So they're saying go somewhere where you can find something in common that you would think would be a good in common kind of thing to find.
Yeah, like you're not
interesting.
going to find, if you like going to the library and reading books, you're not going to find your partner in the club. Like, not to say that people in the club don't like to read, but you're more likely to find someone who likes to read
Fair.
in the
Do you read?
library. Sometimes.
I just finished a book last night.
Mm-hmm.
I was reading for about almost an hour and a half, too. I went to bed at 1:30 because this last part of the book was absolutely amazing. It's called The Girl at the Window.
Okay.
I don't even know who it's by. I'm terrible at remembering that stuff. But it's a great book.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Do you read novels?
I prefer nonfiction.
Nonfiction. I get confused. Nonfiction means that it's not real. So that means
it's not fake.
it's not fake.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So it's real.
So it's real. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this wasn't a fiction. It was nonfiction.
Oh, cool.
But it wasn't true. Is that still okay? Like, it wasn't like a true story.
So it's fiction.
Is that fiction?
Uh-huh.
No. 'Cause I thought fiction would be like fantasy stuff like that.
It's all things. If it's not an actual like story about an actual woman,
Oh.
it's
I didn't know that.
yeah. Like, does the character in the book exist?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, that's fiction.
That's a good book, though. This is a
Okay,
really
cool.
good book. I could not put it down. Okay, so back to what we were talking about. Yes, if you go to if you want to find somebody with a good in common, you go to the library or whatever. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm taking it one step at a time and just figuring it out. Also, I'm trying to work on myself too. I'm trying to, and I know that. Oh man, what are you trying to do? Work on yourself.
No.
I got these goals that I want to have
Yes.
for myself to be able to be dating somebody or to look forward in the future with dating. Because I don't want to date somebody right now, and then I can't even afford to buy a ring.
That's fair.
I'm not saying I'm going to find the person I'm going to marry that point in time either.
You never know.
But you just never know. You know what I mean? And so, like, I want to be able to be ready for anything that happens.
That's great.
You know, so
It's mature.
let's say January 2021.
It's great.
I should be ready.
Mm-hmm.
Got some goals I want to break this year, so I'm stoked
Love
for that.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't. So, guys can be friends with girls.
Sure.
It's different for everybody.
It is.
Every situation is different.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you one more situation I got myself into. Being friends with a girl. Okay, so this girl, she's super cool,
Mm-hmm.
super awesome, but I'm not attracted to her, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she's really cool. She hangs out with the boys. She hangs out with a lot of our friends. This is back in Australia. So if you're watching, if anyone's watching from there, you know what I'm talking about. But she was cool. You know, I love hanging out with her. She was great. We didn't ever hang out one on one. It was always with a group of people and all that. But when I hang out with somebody that I'm not attracted to, I kind of act different. I act even less. So like when there's a girl that I like, I kind of like act different a little bit because I want them to know that I like them or whatever. Yeah. But for her, I didn't care. You know what I mean? So I guess girls find that attractive, and so she ended up liking me. And at one time, I was hanging out with her and one of her other friends who I was attracted to. And after the whole thing, I was like, "Hey, you should put in a good word for me for her." I didn't know. The next day, one of her other friends texted me, was like, "Hey, what'd you tell? What's so and so?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" Like, she's pissed. I'm like, "Oh, I don't know." And then I was like, "I did tell her at the end to put in a good word. Is that bad?" And she's like, "That's it." I was like, "Oh, I didn't know." And so like, I didn't know. You know what I mean? If I did, maybe it went over my head, but I didn't know. I apologized to her and all that. It was awkward, but we're friends now. But it's just like, it's those things that like, even if you're friends with somebody, that's why I'm saying, even if you're friends with somebody and you start acting like cool, I think people get attracted to that because like, you start creating a bond.
Yeah.
And absolutely. that's how friends fall in love with each other, right?
Totally.
Anyways.
And I also feel like attraction is way more than like skin deep. And so I feel like even though you say you weren't attracted to so-and-so, like there could have been some level of attraction there. I don't know. Like, were you judging it based on looks or?
100%, yeah.
See, and that's just, it could, like, God can change your eyesight.
Crazy. I wanted to ask you though, because I know you work in science and biotech. How is it? Because I've been in some kind of corporate stuff before. Not too much of that. I have some neighbors talking outside, so please ignore that if y'all hear that. I forgot to close the windows. But how is it being like a woman working in that field? Are there a lot more women working there than there are in corporate scene? Or what are your thoughts on
that? So Genentech is definitely different. It's 60-40 women.
Wow. That's where I need to be. Sign me up.
Oh my goodness. So it's really, really cool. There's 15,000 employees here in South San Francisco alone, and we have 3 sites. And then we're also owned by a company in Switzerland called Roche. So there's a lot more people out there. But
like the shoe?
No.
The Nike shoe? No.
No. Stop.
All right.
So yeah, it's pretty encouraging to see so many women in science, and it's definitely like inspiring for me personally.
60-40. Oh, that's cool. And like, there's a lot of growth there too, huh? You moved up a little bit or no? Or it kind of depends on what you study, huh?
It definitely depends on the letters after your name. So what degrees do you hold? What's your experience? Genentech is, as some might say, cream of the crop. So I got in on the ground floor because God. But yeah, it's limited if I didn't go back to school because I only hold a bachelor's. But
I don't have any degree.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. That's cool. I mean, I'm stoked for you because I know you something you've been wanting to do about going to study more as well. You're going to Arizona. It's really hot over there.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think you're going to kill it. I think you're going to do great.
Thanks.
You will be missed. We could probably have a few more minutes. Let me see. So you're black.
I'm mixed.
You are?
Yeah.
Mixed what?
I am half black, quarter white, quarter Filipino.
Filipino? I did not know that.
Most people don't see it. I wish they saw it.
I'm half Mexican. Actually, I'm like 3/4 Mexican, a quarter white.
Wow. I thought you were half and half.
So did I for a while, but my dad's full, my mom's half, so.
Oh, yeah.
Might as well, right? That's how it
75.
works, right?
Yeah, genetics.
There it is. Sign me up, 60-40.
Oh my goodness.
I know we're not gonna talk much about this, but I just wanted to. I saw this Instagram post the other day, and I'm like, wow, that's actually real. And it said, everything's going on with racism and everything, but it said BLM, Black Lives Matter, is not. It wasn't BLM Spirit Week, because all last week or even for the past 2 weeks, we've just been like flooding social media with that stuff.
Right.
I'm like, it's cool, but it's not just like a Spirit Week. I just want to get your thoughts. What do you think about that?
I saw that as well, and I feel like obviously it's not a Black Lives Matter Spirit Week, and it's not just like in lieu of Juneteenth, which is on Friday. Like, it's not.
Shout out.
Shameless plug. But I feel like, I think people need to look beyond like social media as ways to educate people.
Right.
Even just going to a protest personally, it's made me feel like everyone that I'm with is already on the same page. So what environments and spheres can all of us disperse into within our own community,
right,
to educate? Because in my heart, I feel like the target groups would be like the older generations and even the younger. So for me, just like with moving to Arizona and like going back to school, like I see an opportunity even just within the institution, because there's still a lot of work that needs to be done in our school systems. But I feel like if everyone takes it upon themselves, yes, keep posting if that's what you feel like you want to do. Great.
Right.
Keep raising awareness. I think it's awesome. But also like put action behind your words. And there's so much that can be done in everyone's community.
Right.
Like if everyone did one thing in their community, it's going to take time, because
For sure, it will,
it's not going to happen by 2021.
Hopefully it can. We'll see what happens.
But yeah, yes, conversations, but it's kind of like get down into the trenches with people who, I don't know, maybe aren't willing to understand or don't have the resources to educate themselves, or even challenge the system where you work. Like if you feel dissatisfied with how your company is like handling everything right now, like call them out, let them know what they could be doing better as far as like
that's good,
helping to inform the people in the workplace. But
did your company do anything, or
so my company, they definitely put out like resources and stuff, but my issue with my company specifically is they made it like if you feel like it, you can take this training sort of thing. And I feel like diversity and inclusion and these unconscious like biases, like these trainings should be mandatory, and they should also be annual. Like it shouldn't just be like a one-time off sort of thing. But
that's true.
Yeah.
My company, Wix, shout out to Wix, they opened up a store and sold like a bunch of shirts, and then like all the proceeds goes to a few different charities for it. Yeah. But also they matched whatever was made too as well. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, my company has an employee donation program, and so they also match donations. So I love that they're doing that.
That's
too,
fire. But yeah, I get that. I think it goes beyond social media, beyond words. It's gonna be action, just like our faith.
Yeah, and love is an action word.
100%.
So.
Yeah. I just ordered this book called White Fragility. It was sold out, so I had to wait till it got back in stock, and they just shipped it. So I'm excited to read that. Just kind of like myself, educate myself. Even though like, I feel like this is just me. I feel like I've never really, maybe I have, but I've never really like seen black people any different, because for me, I'm Mexican, so I grew up in like a bunch of brown Mexican people, and so like I was like, oh, we're all cool, and but I still want to educate myself, because I don't want to. I want to be able to find if there is anything in there, in my mind or in my actions, to like fix it and go forward with it.
I think that's great, because even for myself, I want to be more educated. You can't just assume every black person is already educated.
True.
And I also grew up a mixed kid, and on military.
Is your mom white?
Yeah, my mom's half white, half Filipino. Yeah.
Oh, you said that.
So yeah, it's just like even my experiences growing up on military bases are very sheltered, and so there's still like some things that I don't know that I need to be educated about, and I know that there's certain, I mean, there's probably stuff hiding in my heart too that I don't even know about. So
to be honest, it's crazy because I feel like there's a lot of stuff hidden in our hearts, and
yeah,
I think that's why I think going to a therapy is really good and really important because they get to see it from the outside, and I think that's really good. I want to start taking therapy. I want to see if my company like provides that for my
it's a great investment.
stuff or whatever.
Yeah,
Cool.
very cool.
I think we're done.
Love it.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you got about a couple months left here, and then you're out. Not even a couple months.
Yeah.
Can
Something
you say when you're leaving? Is that okay? I think you can, right? Pretty much everybody knows.
No.
No?
Well, I don't know who knows and who doesn't. It's not a big secret. I mean.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna know anyways in the next.
When I'm not there.
Yeah, they're like, where's she at?
I don't have a countdown from when we're leaving, but I think the wedding's in just over 6 weeks.
It's crazy.
Maybe 7 weeks. I don't know. I've lost count, unfortunately, and that's weird because I should know.
Yeah. So you got that, and then right after that, you're out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Peace. All right. Well, glad I got to talk to you before you left.
Yeah. Same.
I'll see you at the wedding.
Yeah.
If you have any further questions about biotech or science, hit her up. What's your Instagram handle?
It's at KJA, but everyone thinks it's something crazy, so I just want to put that on the record. It's pronounced KJA, and the Janae part is my middle name.
What do they think that's crazy?
People are like, oh, I thought it was like Kajana or something crazy because it looks like weird. But anyways.
I've never actually sounded it out. I just always saw it. Hit her up. She's gonna go study more. So if you have any questions about COVID-19, she'll be able to give you the details about how to get rid of it.
All the facts.
All the facts. So,
yeah.
But legit, thanks for coming on. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.